Welcome back to another episode of the Bear Trap a Bears podcast by a Bears fan. I'm your host, Terry, and today, doing the player spotlight, shining the light on Roquan Smith, our rookie linebacker. Before I get into that, real quick again, I've started a Patreon campaign trying to get some money to buy the NFL pass for the full season so I can do video breakdowns. Also, just trying to make sure I get some money so I don't have to get a second job and, I got more time to do this. But if you go to the description section, you can see the link to the Patreon. Check it out. If you decide to support, cool. No pressure to support. Listening is support enough. Secondly, just did a interview, do a little podcast with a fellow Bears fan. His podcast is called Lukey and the Bears. Lukie, Lukey and Da Bears, Dabears. So I'm not sure when that's airing, but I know he's on Spotify, so be on the lookout for that. It was a cool interview. It was fun talking to another Bears fan. And then lastly, we're all Bears fans, just, we want the Bears to win. So with that being said, Roquan Smith, let's talk about what have you done lately. Of course, he was a rookie. This was his first year with us. And I'm not going to stay on this point a long time, but there's a lot of fans out there who listen to this episodes who, even if you didn't listen, you were out there talking trash about Roquan over the contract. All these people talking about trade him and all that good stuff. And of course, on the internet, people aren't going to admit they're wrong or anything like that. But I'll be interested to hear from people what was their impressions after seeing him play. So anyway, he came in through that controversy, didn't start week 1, but eventually got the start. And we're going to go through the stats real quick. So out of our rookie linebackers, he was third in solo tackles. So just him, and then combo tackles, so assist and solo, he was tied for 4th. As far as all linebackers, he was tied for 8th for solo tackles, so top 10. As far as all linebackers, he was tied for 13th for combo tackles, so top 15. And then as far as sacks from traditionally stacked linebackers, he was, from what I can tell, tied for 6th. I would give, as far as like the differentiating who's actually a stacked linebacker, I would say he tied for 6th for sacks. So 5 sacks, which is a pretty good number for a linebacker. So overall, what he brought for us this year is very much what I said going into the season, in which his biggest benefit was going to be his addition in coverage. And so I would urge you, if you haven't, go check out my video breakdown, my film session for Eddie Jackson, or check out my film session for Kyle Fuller, which might even be better. Either way, with that all 22, you can see how much of an importance it is that you have linebackers that can cover over the middle. And I know we talk a lot about it as far as passing league and all that, but honestly, that's not really my thing. I still think a 2-down run stopper is important. But my thing is, the league is very much in love offensively with attacking the middle, which makes sense. And that used to be a thing, and it's come back around. Attacking the middle, and people think, these offenses is just high-flying aerial offenses. Not really. A lot of times what people are doing are just setting you up on the perimeter to hit easy passes over the middle. Number one, it's easy for the quarterback to see, and so it's an easier read. And number two, it's not a further distance, because when you're down the field and to the sideline, of course, you got the vertical distance and the horizontal distance. When you're just throwing a pass over the middle, you just got the vertical distance. And so obviously those passes are easier to do. And when you clear out the middle, it's easy to get players dump off and get them in space. Look, you watch Travis Kelce, my film session, or Pat Mahomes, my film session, and not plugging my sessions, but film shows you that these dump off passes over the middle, let them run, those are the big plays right now. That's why bubbles and all the spread stuff was popular, because you just throw an easy pass, let an athlete be an athlete. Now, instead of doing it to the perimeter, they want to do it over the middle where the defense is exposed. And so, all that to say that your linebackers are even more important in coverage than they ever been. And so when I talk about Eddie Jackson, when I talk about Kyle Fuller, yes, they're going to look to the perimeter first. You need good perimeter defense. But perimeter gets help from safeties. The linebackers don't have help. And so if your linebackers aren't doing their job in the middle of the field, those are easy pickings that every good offense is going to hit on you in the NFL. That's what they want. They want to set up matchups over the middle. And so having not only Roquan but Trevathan, and trust me, look, again, my defense was a 4-2-3, 4-2-5, still is. And so I understand. And 4-2-5 is basically what you have in nickel. It's literally almost the exact same thing. And so what you have is a very heavy emphasis on the middle linebackers. And one can be great. One can cover a lot of ground, go from point A to point B, react to the quarterback and be great. It does not matter if that other linebacker messes up. More times than not, a defense has to be on point. The only player that can completely wreck a play by themselves without any help is a pass rusher. Other than that, a linebacker's going to need his corners to be covering and his safeties to do their job. Linebacker's going to need the other linebacker to do their job. If a linebacker's stopping the run, they're going to need the D-line to do their job. So only one that can wreck a play by themselves is a pass rusher, which is why they're a premium. And so you look at the All-22 film, you see why having Roquan with Trevathan takes us to a new level. Trevathan with Kwiatkowski is good. I like Kwiatkowski, but he's not Roquan Smith. And so I talked a lot in the offseason before, and now the proof is in the pudding. I wax poetic. His coverage ability is such a big plus. Not just his, but in combo with Trevathan. You got to have linebackers that can cover the middle because that's where the easy plays are. And then, of course, you're talking about the other stuff. So it's sacks. 5 sacks. You see the plays. Not a pass rusher. Never really was. I think he's got some lean, but he's shorter and all that. Doesn't have long arms. He's fast. And that's all you really need. Again, when you blitz and stunt and you set it up, if the person that's open, because you set up the blitz for one person to be open, if the person that open is explosive, and especially if they're coming up the middle, they're going to hit. And honestly, he had good motor, great, excellent motor. I went from good, great, excellent. All that. And so some sacks was just his motor. But trust, like his speed is a big reason he's good at blitzing and able to get sacked. So I'm glad there. And then, of course, like I read the stats about tackles. I think he's good in the run. He's not as good as Trevathan, but he's going to get there. He's going to get there as far as diagnosing and learning because I think he's a student of the game. He's a buckets winner and they tend to do well. And so I'm very much excited about what he can become as a runner. The only thing, and it is not knocking him or being negative, it's just that I'm being objective and looking at the full picture. The one thing I would say Roquan doesn't have, besides like straight up pass rush ability, which most linebackers don't, he's not a striker. Like he can get a guy down, he could get a quarterback down, or he's not going to get demolished consistently. I think if he went in the hole with Derrick Henry, probably get his lunch ate. But for the most part, he's not going to get demolished. But I don't think he's a hitter. I don't think he's going to blow somebody up for fumbles or, any of that, which is fine. Again, not something that you have to be. It's just that was the one thing I would say it's not that he's not physical. He's just not imposing. There's some guys that even on accident, when they run into you at full speed, they're going to blow you up. He's not that. He's not built like that. And so, but he also isn't looking to blow you up. I don't think. I think he's looking to tackle you and get you down. And I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. That would just be the only thing I would say that I noticed. And then, of course, like I said, diagnosing the run, being even more cerebral with that. Because the whole thing with linebackers, as I said before, they're chase linebackers now. That's Deion Jones. He just got a big contract today. That's what people want. They want fast linebackers that can chase people sideline to sideline, help cover. They don't really care about going downhill. And so he doesn't have those traits, but I still love him. And so as far as, again, with these, I kind of give a label. Are you a young piece to build around? Are you a core player? Are you just a starter? Are you a backup? All that stuff. To me, he's a core player. That might be shocking. He's a core. Usually, if you get a guy coming off rookie year, you might say that they're a young piece to build around. I don't know if you build around Roquan, but also B, I just think is a lot more than that. I think he is a core player. Again, Trevathan with Kwiatkowski, good. Trevathan with Roquan Smith, excellent. It's a big drop off. And Trevathan goes out, getting older, maybe not healthy. Roquan is very important. Because look, as I said, one linebacker could kind of mess it up. But would I rather have a really great coverage linebacker and one bad one versus two bad ones? Of course. And so when Trevathan went out before, you didn't have nothing really. But if Trevathan goes out now, you still got Roquan. So there's a safety net there. There's the big boost you got when they're both on the field. And he's young. He's going forward. That's going to be one of the guys that we hope to be around for a while. So I 100% think he's a core player. So anyway, that's it for me about Roquan. Go down the comment section. Let me know what you think about Roquan, his year. What do you expect going forward? Share it around, get the conversation started. Thumbs up, subscribe. Again, check out the Patreon and, consider supporting. And remember, stay up and bear down.